Five. Hibiki Highspots live. Man, it has been a week. Back in action, batten down the hatch and stop the presses. I am back to podcasting with just a little thrown together Hibiki Highspots. A lot of news to talk about. There's a lot of stuff I missed in my downtime that I want to cover. And what better way do that, and a man he's at my side for so many shows. Welcome back to Hibiki TV. Once again, Logan Myers from Future Wrestling. What's going on, buddy? Thank you for joining me this late. It's good to hear you. Good to be podcasting with you once again, like Marty and Shawn Michaels.
I like it. The Rockers. Gotta do it. Love it. It's been a great night. Just got through SmackDown, and I'm ready to do this little podcast with you, Travis. Thank you for having me once again. You guys can check me out on Twitter at Logan Myers144. Travis, let them know where can they check you out at.
Man, you're getting so good at this. So professional, Logan. You can follow me on Twitter at the HibikiTND. Check me out on Kayfabe Today podcast at first thing in the morning on YouTube. Hit the subscribe over there. Follow MTL Bursky on Twitter, the man behind the plan on Kayfabe Today. The reset button. Slam Pigs Cruise Control on hiatus, but down the road, we'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, man, Logan, like I said, welcome back. It has been a newsworthy week in the zany, fun-filled world of pro wrestling. Like you said, SmackDown Live was tonight. This isn't a regular Slam Pigs or Future Wrestling. This is just literally, I was bored and I really missed doing this, and I went to my go-to guy. I guess the biggest tidbit, though, I did see that Shane McMahon was suspended in storyline. You were telling me off air, like, he pulled it off really well. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, he did. It's something definitely to check out if you guys haven't got to check that out. But that's not mainly what we're here for. We're here for the big news, but
we're here to bury people tonight. I have brought my shovel, and I don't bring my shovel a lot, Logan, but man, I have had a pile of dirt ready to fill a hole for this woman for a week. I've just been salivating because all I've done, I've seen my good buddy V, I've seen all my friends, my pallies get out there and talk about the sexy star situation. I've had to wait my turn. So I've waited my turn, Logan. You've waited your good little turn because I'm pretty sure you haven't talked about it on any platform yet. As everyone knows right now, and if you don't know, you've pretty much been living under a rock. Sexy Star and Rosemary had a match. Was it Triple Mania, Logan? The event?
I'm pretty sure.
That's like the equivalent to their WrestleMania in AAA, right? It's their biggest show, I think. Anyway, they had a match. Sexy Star, quote unquote, shot on Rosemary in an armbar and really did some damage. She legit, intentionally, maliciously injured this woman for no good reason, Logan. She put her on the shelf. Rosemary waited a few days, but then she did come out on Twitter with a, I don't know if you saw the Rosemary tweet. I'm sure you did, but it was hot fire. But man, this, real quick, Logan, what is your 2 cents? And I know the elephant in the room, and everyone's wondering, yes, I don't think she should totally be blacklisted. That doesn't make you tough, like we've heard it all over in the last week. It's a pussified thing to do. Someone's giving their body to you. It's not a one-on-one fight. It might have been a little different if Rosemary would defend herself. But Logan, I'm pretty sure you're on board with this bitch just needs to be blacklisted the fuck out of the business.
First things first, the first word that comes to mind is trust.
Yeah.
Your opponent trusts you at the end of the day because they're trying to provide food for their families. their kids, their wives, or their husbands, so on and so forth. In my opinion, you just don't cross that line. That line is to protect who you're against, and at the end of the day, that's what you should be asking. Also, is protection. Please protect me in the ring, as I will protect you. And of course, Sexy Star didn't do that. She went in business for herself, and she became what when I want to say it in the nicest way, a cunt. And that's the nicest way I'm going to put it.
Yeah, that's an insult to cunts, actually, to call Sexy Star. I want to shout out a good pally in the chat, Megan Star. What is up, my dear? Thank you for stopping by. It's not late for you because of your silly West Coast time, but we appreciate it. It's late for us. I gotta agree with everything you said. It's just apparently she was in like there was another match earlier in the night or the night before, night one or something, where she was stiffed by another worker. I can't remember that worker's name, but it was she did that to Sexy Star because there's I don't know a lot about the lucha world, but do you know Taya, Logan? Who that is?
Not really.
Okay, well
Sadly.
she's a big deal over there. She's like one of the biggest women's wrestler in Mexico. She's been on Lucha Underground, I believe. Anyway, there was real life animosity over the title with her and Sexy Star, politically wise, backstage. And apparently that's what led to this other woman shooting on Sexy Star first. But regardless, what the fuck did Rosemary do is my thing. Like this poor girl, she's literally I mean, she's a GFW talent. She's just trying to make a name for herself. She's a journeyman worker.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, and Sexy Star has had a horrible reputation for years. Not for this, but for just flat out arrogance, just being a twat backstage. It doesn't shock a lot. You saw Sean Waltman came out on Twitter. It's one of the ones that stick out in my mind for what he said. Basically saying it wasn't a shock that this woman did it because she's such a cunt, but totally unprofessional, uncalled for. We've seen this over the years. We've seen certain matches where it's kind of the whole Perry Saturn Mike Bell match, Lo. You know what I'm talking about? That dark match.
Yeah.
See, that was a case where
Yeah.
Perry Saturn says that he kind of blacked out a little bit and it was misconstrued. He didn't mean to throw Mike Bell on his head. So Perry Saturn kind of got a pass, but this I think is just she totally
No.
intended to do this. It
No.
was directed at the wrong
Okay.
person for one. And if anything, the biggest idiot in the room is Sexy Star because you didn't even get your revenge on the right person that cost you your career. You could have at least gone out getting your revenge back, but no, you took it out on an innocent bystander. That's like, okay, that's like the equivalent, Logan, to someone, God forbid, hurting somebody I love or care about really bad. And my revenge to get back at them is to go out and kill an innocent person. And then I get put in prison for it. That's the logic that Sexy Star took in this. And did you see the Cody Rhodes tweet? He was like the forerunner for this week with just burying this bitch. Like flat out said she will never share a locker room with me. And I commend guys for coming out like that because there's no place for this. There's absolutely no place for this in pro wrestling. It's too dangerous, too goddamn dangerous for one to do it.
And those two names, Sean Waltman and Cody Rhodes, are not the only two names. The whole wrestling universe has commented on this whole section, this whole situation. That's and one of the guys I do remember reading the tweet about is Road Dogg. He said straight up, she's never going to work on a show
Yep.
that I'm on.
Yep.
So
And he is
and
the
she
head
deserves
honcho
that.
behind SmackDown right now. So you know she's fucked over there. As far as and she doesn't care. Her husband is a boxer, and she was transitioning to a full time boxing career anyway. I mean, talk about another bitch ass pussy way to do it. I mean, you're retiring your husband way, and that's, ugh. But I got quite honestly, I have no time for Sexy Star. For one, for what I saw from her anyway before this, she was completely just overrated. I think she wasn't that good. That woman in the Mae Young Classic who's been around for years. The oh my god, you know who I'm talking about, El Sousa something with it looks like Oscar with a mask is what. But she's really good.
Yeah.
She's really good, and she's way better than Sexy Star. It's good riddance as far as I'm concerned.
It's. I'm not sad to see her go.
I don't
I'm
think
not.
anyone is. Honestly, I don't think anybody thinks that's a loss to the business. Speaking of losses, though, Logan, other big news story broke this week. SmackDown has lost JBL. He stepped away. To his words, Logan, spend more time with like his kids in Bermuda that he works with. Which is great if that's if that's the reason why. I think it might be the reason. I don't think he's bullshitting on this. He dedicates his life to helping kids over there, and that's why all the time for people that say he's such a dick. I mean, look, actions speak words sometimes too, guys. I see both sides of it, but I mean that's great that he does that. Corey Graves actually filled in tonight. You saw Smack. I'm guessing Graves did a good job because he's Corey Graves. I would assume.
Of course.
Yeah,
Anything but Byron.
yeah. And in my opinion, also not sad to see JBL go. I know I was just commending him for all of his work, but his commentary over the years has just turned to complete garbage. I think in the very beginning, Logan, when he did it in like '07, '06, it was okay. Like, I thought he might have some legs to it, but he's just one of the cases he's gotten worse over time. Like a Jerry Lawler, I think. He's not even a shell of how he used to be on commentary.
Hey, in recent weeks, like since the brand extension, I think he's done a lot better because he's narrowed down. I think all the commentators, when they're narrowed down to just certain talent, I think they're better at doing it. Over time, it's just JBL doing Raw and SmackDown wasn't for him. It wasn't for any of the commentators, but I hope that's not the case for Corey Graves because he is now officially taking the place of JBL on SmackDown, and he will continue his work on Monday Night Raw. But don't forget the other big news is that Nigel McGuinness has now been announced to be on the 205 Live
And
commentary,
they
and that
just wrapped that show up, what, like 2 hours ago? Did Nigel start tonight, or are they
yes,
saving? He did.
he did start. He
So
did
now
start.
it's basically your NXT team without Percy Watson on 205. Wait, no, because Morrow's not on 205. What am I doing? I'm an idiot. Um,
That would have been amazing. Not gonna
well,
lie.
quite honestly, I think they should have had more of the whole. I think, and just like you said with JBL, the tones to the voice, they bring a certain energy, and commentating is a nuance that a lot of people don't really notice. If you go back to any classic match or take any match you love, guys, and just mute the commentating, it really does take a lot away from it. It really does. I think a lot of people
It
sleep on
does.
how important commentary can be. And Mauro Ranallo is that up pace, energetic, maybe too energetic sometimes for his own good, but definitely the feel you need for a cruiserweight show. I agree.
Nigel actually brings it, and it is going to be weird without having Corey Graves on 205 Live because he just brought that unique commentary to the commentary desk, and it's going to be missed. But we also gained him an extra 2 hours, so I'm not mad.
Yeah, can't really complain about that much. Um, Megan in the chat says, as opposed to the sexy star thing, this is not the place for that crap. Let's get her an MMA fight and see what happens. I totally agree, and I hope she just gets destroyed in the boxing ring. And I'm sure she will because she's no spring chicken. I think she's pushing 40. She's not a young lady. Anyway, the Young Bucks have also lost some things today, Logan. What's going on with that?
Apparently, they are being just given a warning shot by the WWE about do not use the suck it of the D-Generation X. So
Sent
that
a
is something to look at.
it was a cease and desist letter, is what the professional terms called they use. Which is basically stop fucking using this or we're gonna sue you, is what the letter says.
I like that. I like that better than the professional words.
That's how I'd write it. I mean, wouldn't you want to intimidate them if you do it like all cookie cutter, like, well, if you continue to do this route, we may take no. Stop using my fucking shit is how I'd write it, I guess. But you know what? You know what? This sucks for the Bucks. But guess what, guys? WWE is right. They own the copyright to suck it. Yes, Shawn Michaels and the Click in them, that was the thing they started doing. And yes, it's dumb to catchphrase a fucking sentence, but it's business. And if anything, shame on the Young Bucks. I'm going to flat out point the finger of shame at them on this, Logan, because shame on them for not trying to reach out for something new over the last 3 years instead of relying on a catchphrase from 1997. That's exactly what I said on Twitter today. And it's like, they've just literally ridden another gimmick for 3 years. Yes, they're talented in the ring. Yes, for people that like that style, they're really good, but they have not tried to do anything outside of the box to add to it so they don't need to fall back on them. and I think they deserve this. That's a little harsh, but it is what it is.
I don't think it's harsh. I actually agree with you. You know, when it comes down to it, you gotta put a different spin on your characters. You can't be using other people's gimmicks. You can't be using other people's lines or catchphrases or anything like that. That'd be like me going into the WWE and on commentary, I just say "what" every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that because
And
that's not
Logan, I
my
think
catchphrase.
I've seen it all day since this news broke. People are getting this twisted. Guys, there's a hell of a lot of difference from borrowing from gimmicks as opposed to flat out just taking the gimmick. You know what I mean? Abyss, he took elements from Mick Foley. That mask was a straight up Mankind ripoff. But he also brought in elements of like a Taker and a Bam Bam Bigelow, and he was this mixture he borrowed. He didn't just flat out say, have a nice day, and put a fucking sock on his hand, Logan.
Nope.
You know?
He put a
Ugh.
little spin on it and made it his own. He wasn't Mick Foley, he was Abyss.
And that's
And
the
that is
thing.
not.
They literally took no effort to put any spin on it. None. They made none of this theirs. Every time, even with the Bullet Club's guilty of it. Every time the Too Sweet thing, you immediately think NWO and you immediately think DX. You never think Bullet Club or the Young Bucks immediately, ever. Especially with the Suck It. I would think the Too Sweet now more. You think Bullet Club a little bit more, you know what I mean? But the Suck It, every time you hear it, you got to admit, you immediately think DX. You don't think of the fucking Young Bucks. At least any smart, relevant thinking fan wouldn't. Now, if you never came up on DX, you have you only know Young Bucks, then I totally get that. I totally get that. But the thing is, know your history. Know your history. That's like me only watching fucking minor league baseball and just ignoring Major League Baseball. But I got to know some history to the Major League Baseball, especially if some of those guys get called down from the majors. It's all one and the same. If the Young Bucks get signed and you only follow the Indies, what the poof? They just disappeared with a wand? Now you can't find them? No, they're on WWE television, people. Man, it's good to be back, Logan. I have, ooh.
You are fired up. You are fired up. You brought your damn shovel tonight. I do think you have
I made a
brought your
stop.
damn shovel.
I had a 2-for-1 coupon at Home Depot, and I brought you one too, Logan. Oh,
Oh shit. I don't know if you want me to go there. There's a lot to talk about.
we're running through our format like nobody's business. We're gonna run out of stuff soon, so I hope you do got something up your
All
sleeve.
right. I
Um,
do. How about Ric Flair's doing better? We can always talk about.
well, yeah, we'll
I
get.
love this shirt.
I do want to wrap
Oh,
up the Young Bucks thing real quick. Then we'll go to the Flair.
okay,
Um,
good.
I did see something else today. Yeah, I was talking to someone on Twitter about it. I was just like, I was flat out, I was surprised that Vince didn't do this 3 years earlier. Because it's not like they just been doing it for a month. You know what I mean? But the thing is, shout out to my buddy Hodge. And Hodges did a tweet, follow him on Twitter. He's a good guy, big fan. But he pointed out that that's just how maniacal and crafty Vince can be. He'll let you borrow and borrow until you think you've made it, and then all of a sudden just take your fucking legs out because Vince is that cutthroat about this kind of shit. And I thought about that comment he told me. I was like, damn, I can totally see Vince doing it that way, and I think that's might have what happened. We don't know specifics yet, but I don't know. But yes,
Mm.
the Nate, Ric Flair. Yes, he came out, Logan, looking great in a Ric Flair hat and a matching shirt. Said, "I'm not dead yet, motherfucker," which was awesome. I mean, honestly, let's call a spade a spade. He doesn't look good, but give the man a break, people. He did just beat death. But yeah, of course, I got a little teary eyed seeing Nate. What did you think about the Nate video, Logan?
I'm glad to see him really, getting better. Um, you can definitely tell he's gone down a long road the last couple weeks, and it's only going to get, time's only going to speak for itself. But I do want to laugh about the shirt that he was wearing. I'm not dead yet, motherfuckers. That was one of the best shirts I've seen in a long time, and it does speak Ric Flair. I hope he can get off this drinking habit so we can see Ric Flair for many, many years to come.
Amen. And hang in there, Nate. Get better. We love you. Um, man, Megan's just going nuts in the chat. She wants to see what this will bring with them. Fuck the revival. I don't know why she said fuck the revival in the chat. May have missed something. And then she said it's also great to hear from DJ Lego King. And those that don't know, that's Logan. in her world. Um, Logan, a couple other things. I have not been able to review any Raws or on any podcasts. Just this, let's go over real quick, get our 2 cents. So we've been kind of out of the loop, like we said on the shows. The Roman Reigns John Cena promos as of late. Could they not literally set up Roman to fail any harder than what they were like? Why are they putting it seems like they're putting a 4-year-old with a super soaker out there against an army general with like a missile launcher. It's just it's cringy to watch because Roman just has no chance. He just has no chance. He just eats it. Forgetting lines doesn't help. Forgetting your fucking lines. And that was another thing that last week, Logan, or 2 weeks ago, that first time they did the promo, and it was like, oh my god, it came out that it was all scripted. And that's fine. That's fine. But then I saw people on Twitter, well, then I can't get into the angle and it's scripted. Where the fuck are we at, Logan?
We're at that point where fans are not happy whatever they're given.
Yeah.
I don't even think they would be happy that it wasn't if it wasn't scripted. If it was scripted, they would be pissed off. If it wasn't scripted, they would be pissed off. At this point, I'd rather be pissed off than pissed on, but at the same time, damn it, come on now, fans. You need to wake up and smell the coffee, look at the roses, smell them roses, and come on now. Roman Reigns, for one, is has no charisma on the mic whatsoever. It's pretty bad that me on commentary is 10 times better than Roman Reigns on a microphone. John Cena is literally destroying, manhandling Roman Reigns on that microphone. If you shut off Roman Reigns' microphone during a Monday Night Raw, I would not be mad. Because at this point, I'd rather listen to a 20-minute promo by John Cena than any comeback whatsoever on the microphone to John Cena from Roman Reigns, because he just does not have it. And what I read earlier today, Travis, is that they still view Roman Reigns as the next John Cena and will be the top face of the company. How can you book that guy as a top face of the company when he can't even beat the former face of the company?
Well, it's real simple. I mean, don't you or any of the listeners get this twisted. Roman Reigns is winning at no mercy. It is apparent as the day is long, the way they're letting him be buried, the way they're setting him up. He's winning that fucking match, and I think in their eyes, that's how they still make him like, well, he's gonna win at the end, so who cares? No. You cannot verbally break the fourth wall and eviscerate a man like that, like we've seen 2 weeks now in a row, and expect just getting a win in there to fix everything like a band-aid. Nope. Nope. And I'll tell you what, I'm not going to say Roman. No, this has not been pretty for Roman fans, and this has not been pretty for Roman in these promos. But the few times he's actually really good in these promos is, I'm not, yes, he does, it's when he says bitch and he cusses, and then, but it's like when he just, stop making him remember fucking lines. It's like those parts you can tell where he's just like scrambling, like, I'll just come back with this. And it comes off good. He's playing a good heel. The problem is, he's not a heel. You know what I mean?
They're not booking him as a heel. He's a face. He's got heelish promos on John Cena, and it's not working. I can't take Roman Reigns winning and beating John Cena seriously with the way he's being destroyed on the microphone. And the Cena haters can say it all they want, but John Cena, for 15 plus years, has done one thing. He's actually done very good promos. He's given top, like, 5-star matches. Roman Reigns, lackluster, plain and simple.
In my opinion,
Excited.
The only time, Logan, I think we ever got a guy who was allowed to go in ring with Cena and just break that fourth wall and shoot on him back was CM Punk. I think that's the only guy I can remember that was allowed to do that. And yes, I feel like it was kind of in the same place. Like, he was breaking fourth walls at the time with Cena and just destroying Cena that you thought, well, damn, Cena might be done. But Cena's not Roman Reigns. Cena has this X factor about him where he's that established. He's just been doing this for that long, like you said. Roman ain't there yet. Roman doesn't. John Cena literally has women and children crying at the sight of him in public. Roman Reigns has that some, but nothing like Cena. I,
No,
you know,
no.
do you think that Roman is also winning at No Mercy?
I don't see either one of them winning at No Mercy.
You know, a lot of people, you think it's going to be a schmoz with the rumors of American Badass Undertaker coming back.
See, that's popped up in my mind several times. But there's part of me that says Roman Reigns is not going to win no matter what. I mean, he'll beat Cena. If he beats Cena, he'll beat Cena. But at the end of the day, he is not winning, even after winning the match.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just not.
I know what you mean there. Well, supposedly they're still going Brock and Roman for Mania, and I think that's a bumblefuck decision, unless the plan is to make the heel corporation stable and turn Roman by the end with the Usos in there, something that leads to some sort of heel turn that's going to end up like WrestleMania 32 all over again in Dallas, Texas, with the show closing with Roman's covered in booze. Excuse me. Um, and you know who this situation also sucks for? A lot of people have been saying they feel like this, and yes, I agree. This is also baffling why they're doing it at No Mercy, but Cena's leaving soon, so they're trying to get all the big matches in with him they can. And I get that. Samoa Joe is also out with an injury, and you kind of think that I know the original plans were supposed to be Cena and Joe right now at No Mercy. This was not the planned match, I'm hearing.
It's not the planned match.
It was supposed to be Joe and Cena at No Mercy, and Miz and Roman for the IC
Oh,
titles. According to old Tuna Meltsy in the dirt sheets, that was the supposed No
God,
Mercy card.
God forbid we got to have Roman Reigns win the Intercontinental title and beat somebody who has knocked over that fourth wall and has made a career that many people wouldn't expect. And give it up to the Miz. He's top 10 in promos. He's top 10 in the ring lately. He's just top 10 in everything right now. And in my opinion, I would not have been excited to see Roman Reigns come in and beat the Miz. I'm sorry, just wouldn't.
And by the way, since we haven't done any podcasts, I thought this was so funny, and I thought of you. You know, at SummerSlam on the pre-show, how the Hardys and the Miz had like two people in the audience. Isn't it kind of funny now that Jeff Hardy and the Miz are being handed an IC title match live on Raw with a build-up and a battle royal? It's like, oh, our bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's no lie to that.
Plus,
But you
Jason
did mention
Jordan,
again.
Jason Jordan, who was also in that pre-show match, got a match with Cena this week. So, oh, oops, our bad. Um,
Oh yes, what's next? Matt Hardy,
Matt Hardy getting a shot at
uh,
fucking Brock.
Mr. Ross. I
Um,
mean, what's next? I
I got
mean,
to disagree with people though, saying this is a waste of it. I think this is actually really smart by WWE. They're going into their time of the year where they get the lowest ratings because of football. They need to keep the fans hanging on right now more than ever. Especially ratings aren't good to begin with, guys. And the football kicks their ass up and down every fucking year without fail. And I thought that this is smart to do it now. Why not? They literally have nothing to lose. Like we said, business isn't booming. I would have done it. And like you don't know Cena's longevity left in the company. You just, I guess the stars
no.
and the moons and all that bullshit are aligned for it. I guess.
And he had a decent match against Jason Jordan on Monday Night Raw, and Jason Jordan is given these opportunities after opportunities against big name guys, and is putting on like 5-star matches, just coming up short. And I'm just waiting until they pull that trigger, and then you never know in the future him and Kurt Angle in a feud. But you did mention the other rumor that the American Badass Undertaker coming in and taking out Roman Reigns and John Cena. I can report right now that he is training for in-ring return. Um, and I also read something that the Big Show's hip surgery is almost the same as the Undertaker's, and this could be his last hurrah.
Well, speaking of the Big Show, hot off the heels last night, I praised this to you off air earlier. What a match him and Strowman had last night. It does not sound like an appealing match on paper, those two in a cage match, but they totally delivered. And a shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Salamonster. I don't know if you guys listen to Salamonster. I call him Nostradamus all the time because he literally booked the going through the cage spot at the end like that, like to a T on his show Sunday. So man, that guy amazes me sometimes with his mind for wrestling. But if it is the swan song for Big Show, I think that's a beautiful way they did it because that's how he debuted in WWF. He threw Steve Austin through the cage, so it's kind of like a, you know what I mean. So that's cool. Great back and forth. It told a story. There were good spots. It definitely got Strowman over, and it was, you see it all the time. Strowman, everyone jokes backstage, calls Big Show his dad because that's like the guy, his mentor backstage. They're really close, and I'm sure this meant a lot to both of them. And Big Show is always, well, he's never been loved all the time. He does have his share of people he has heat with, but this is really classy to do for Braun, if that was the call. And if anything, good way for Big Show to go out. A hell of a lot better than Big Show could have. A hell of a lot better than going out in a Shaquille O'Neal match, I would say.
Or how he, got eliminated in the Battle Royal at Mania. That
Yeah,
is,
exactly.
I think this match, like you said it off air, these two probably had one of the best big man matches in a very, very long time. It could be actually the best big man match of all time. Braun Strowman is just, again, another guy that you can book, and he would do 10 times more than what Roman Reigns can do.
Logan, I'll flat
And
out say
another
it.
guy.
Just thinking about it, for that company, WWF, that may be WWE. Oh my God, look at me. Is it 96? That may,
Damn!
I know. What was that? That may be top three giant matches they've ever had. It was, guys. If you didn't catch that match last night, it really was. Um, but yeah, continue. Sorry, Logan. I want to go back to the
Uh,
WWF library now, I guess.
and you said this is actually the first time in several years that Vince McMahon has pulled a guy nobody thought would do anything in this business, who they didn't understand why they wanted him in the WWE. Vince McMahon took Braun Strowman, said, "This is my next big show," and delivered.
Yeah.
This was Vince McMahon's pet, his little pet, his little whatchamacallit. That, yeah, this
Well,
is what I want to do.
it never hurts that the guy looks like a destroyer. I mean, and the way they brought him in with the Wyatt family, I guess that was fine, but they totally shit the bed on it. And a year ago this time everybody was complaining about Braun squashing jobbers, but I think on Slam Pigs last year we were saying have patience with it, just have patience. And you see now, I don't think any of us thought Braun Strowman would be here right now, but he's still my pick against Brock and No Mercy. I think they're gonna do it. Can you hear me
Are
now,
you there,
Logan?
Travis?
Yep. I was
You're
playing
going in
outro
and out.
music. Is the audio good now?
Yes.
All right. No, I was just saying. I don't think anybody could have predicted how far ahead Braun would be. A year ago, everyone was complaining about him squashing jobbers, and I think on Slam Pigs last year we were like, "Have patience, guys. Just have patience." And we didn't expect this, but my God! And when we find ourselves, I'm picking Brock. Okay, I'm picking Braun. Excuse me, against Brock at No Mercy. That's my pick.
Well, that is actually my pick too. But don't. I hope you're not pick. I hope you're not playing outro music when we have Jeff Jarrett to talk about.
Well, the music can play. Well, um,
No,
all right.
I did.
Turn to the Rockers music. It's just so fun to play the Rockers. Mike the Slam Pig
I
is in the chat, and he said, "Come on, Roman wasn't that bad." Also, shout out to Kuzan in the chat. Thank you for joining us. And Mike the Slam Pig says, "Logan, nothing is worse than your commentary." I'm just saying what he said in the chat.
Of course, Mike's back to his heel tactics.
Let's go ahead and let's whore him out. You guys saw the trailer. Yes, the rumors are true. In 2 weeks, Michael returns. Slam Pigs returns back to normal Logan. Can't wait to have him back. So look for that in the future. But yes, as you said, Jeff Jarrett out of nowhere came out today. He just taking a sabbatical, taking a break from GFW office and everything, just walking away for a little bit. I have no fucking clue what that's about. I know nothing on it. I saw Bill Apter post something about. That's how I knew to begin with. Uh, just kind of
Well, I
weird.
just looked it up, so I got some
Go
information.
ahead. Look at this
I
man
don't
with
have.
2 scoops of raisins over here. Go ahead, Logan.
Of course, Jeff Jarrett's immediate leave of absence from GFW. Ed Nordholm, whatever, I
Yeah.
guess a guy from Global Force Wrestling, was the person to make the decision and met with Jeff Jarrett personally in Nashville earlier today. While it is noted earlier that the decision was only made a few hours before the announcement, something about this was not even Jeff Jarrett's decision to walk away for a little bit. There was unhappiness within the company with alleged erratic behavior from Jeff Jarrett, and not a decision based on disappointment and creative decisions, but just the decision that the building had for several months. And the final straw was the appearance at Triple Mania, and something about Jeff Jarrett reportedly stumbling on the ring steps, and his physical appearance has possible signs he needed the time off.
Oh, so
Don't know what's going
Jeff
on.
Jarrett's fucking drunk at home right now, guys. That's basically what's happening.
That's basically.
I mean, he always had a reputation for sending out like drunken tweets and then deleting them, attacking people. It's been known for a while that him and Karen like the bottle a little bit, but that's rough. I don't like seeing anybody go through that, but man, that's the head honcho getting sent home there. Look at that.
Sources told PW Insider that Jarrett is not blameless, but there's plenty of blame in the situation, including things Jarrett has taken blame for, like the broken Hardy situation being case of him just towing the company line. There was a note that there is strong belief that Jarrett was trying to stay between Nordholm and the wrestling side of the business with Anthem, and his match against El Patron for Bound for Glory is not going to happen.
But he's such a Christian loving man, Logan. He wouldn't lie. He does cash for gold commercials. This man would never lie. My God.
You're,
Jeff
you're,
Jarrett, let's call it like it is, has been one of the shadiest fucking guys in the business for years now. It doesn't help, like I said, the cash for gold scheme thing he did when GFW first started. Um, Steve Austin hates him. A lot of guys just hate him. That tried and true Memphis upbringing of, shake your hand in the front, stab you in the back when you turn around, that whole mentality. Um, I'm not
kind of like
shocked.
him
I mean, are you
taking
shocked
Karen.
by it? I'm taken back that like the head honcho would be sent home, but a little bit. I'm just not shocked that this behavior would come from Jeff Jarrett. I guess.
It's funny. Karen went from a drunk to a drunk.
She, well, poor Kurt. Kurt's turned it around though. Shout out to Kurt. Kurt
Turned it
was more.
around.
I would
Sure.
say Kurt
Yeah.
was a drunk, but he also had a lot of pain pill abuse going on too, mixed with it, which can't be good ever. Yeah, she went
It's
from
not
one
good.
drunk to a less wealthy drunk. I guess. I don't know. That's her
I
problem.
don't. Like you said, that there's just things that. Okay, my opinion on it, Jeff Jarrett, go home. Go home.
Do you think Jeff Jarrett, when you hear that name, it has, excuse me, is it on that level of stink to it when you hear Vince Russo for you?
I don't know if Vince
Because for
Russo
me,
is up there.
I'm not going to lie, for me, it's kind of close. They've always,
It's definitely close.
because you can't think Vince Russo and not think Jeff Jarrett, kind of, because you immediately think like WCW, Jeff Jarrett was the champion when Russo had the book there almost the whole time. So like that doesn't help. And then they've been in bed in TNA for years together, and they just remind me. It's like the East Coast version of the same guy or a Tennessee version of Vince Russo. It's like I don't know.
Yeah,
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree though.
nope, it does not. And reading the comments is kind of funny too. Capital G, capital L, double N, double E, gone.
Isn't that the
That's
exact promo that Vince did like when he bought WCW and he was asking the fans in the ring like, should I bring in this
yep,
guy? Should I bring in this guy? That's great.
yep. The dude actually has a picture of the Vince McMahon saying that too.
Snare X, thank you for stopping by in the chat. Michael is saying, hell yeah, Double J is a drunk, and he was really happy about the Rockers music that I'm going to bring back here in a second. I'm sorry Logan shut it down, but we had to talk about Double J.
Oh.
Double A, like Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm sorry, but that, I don't know.
Yep.
I guess that about sums it up, Logan. Not too much more to talk about unless you had anything to get off your chest.
No, well, I don't think. I mean, I think we got it down pat. The
Well,
news
man,
this week.
as I said at the top of the show, it's been I've missed you. I've missed doing this. Can't wait to get back in action on Slam Pigs, the reset button, kayfabe today, all that good stuff. And thank you for doing this, man. Spur of the moment, literally last minute.
Yep. Of course, thank you for having me, Travis. If you guys would like to check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144, please go look on YouTube today for Future Wrestling Podcast with me and my co-host Broski from Future Wrestling Podcast and Kayfabe Today podcast. And Travis, please let the good fans know where they can check you out at and all that good stuff.
Well, as always, before we get out of here, I do want to thank everyone that stopped by tonight. In the chat, Megan Star, Kuzan, Mike the Slam Pig, Snare X, anyone else I missed, I'm a schmuck and I'm sorry, but thank you guys so much. You can, as always, follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. I'm sorry I don't have the enthusiasm behind that as I usually do, but it hurts to yell, guys. I'll get there, though. You can check out the Reset Button podcast on Hibiki TMD on YouTube if you're into retro gaming with myself and Tan, and Slam Pigs podcast with the man himself, Michael. Kayfabe Today podcast with Broski from Future Wrestling Podcast on First Thing in the Morning on YouTube. Hit that subscribe over there. And as always, check out Team Laser Mouse, Logan. Team Laser Mouse is coming sooner than later. A bunch of good pallies getting together and starting a nice little community. I think that's it. I think that's all my shit, Logan.
Yep. And guys, don't miss Cruise Control this week. We will be talking about 205 Live and all the good things that you guys might missing this week. But thank you again, Travis, for having me on tonight.
Not a problem, man. Until next time, this has been Hibiki Highspots. Don't forget shovels.